All right, friends, today we are continuing lesson 10.3. We're going to be building on what we learned yesterday, which was equivalent expressions and the different properties that you learned. So today your goal is to be able to simplify expressions by combining like terms. So I'm going to start off with just a few vocabulary definitions. When I say terms, that means the parts of the expression that are separated by plus or minus signs. So these are 12 is a term, 3y squared is a term, and 4x is a term. Coefficients are numbers that are multiplied by at least one variable. So the coefficient is just a number that goes right before the variable. So the 3 is a coefficient because it's right in front of a variable. 4 is a coefficient because it's right in front of the x, and it's not separated by a plus or minus sign. Like terms are terms with the same variable or variables raised to the same power. So I have here 12 plus 3y squared plus 4x plus 8y squared. The 3y squared and the 8y squared are like terms because they both have the same variable and they're both raised to the same power, which is y. So y squared, y squared. Those are like terms. (10x plus 4x). Those are like terms because they both have the same variable, and neither of those terms have a power, so we don't have to worry if the power is the same. So we can combine those like terms and make it 14x, because 10 plus 4 is 14, so 14x. We'll start doing that in all of our problems now because it will condense the expressions and make them shorter and easier to read. So I'm going to give you an example. I have 5x squared plus 3x squared plus 2y plus 3y plus 4x squared. What I did is I circled all of the ones that end with x squared. I circled all of those in green because those are all like terms. They all have the same variable with the same exponent. So because we're adding, I combined all of those. So 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 4 is 12. So I said 12x squared plus, and then 2y and 3y are like terms, and you see that we're adding, so plus 5y. I combined all of the like terms and I simplified it. Here's another example. 3x squared plus 12x plus 6x squared plus 4. The only like terms in this whole problem are 3x squared and 6x squared. This 12x can't be a part of these because it doesn't have a little exponent to 2. 12x is not the same as x squared. So if this was squared, it would be okay, but it's not squared. So we have to do 3x squared plus 6x squared, which is 9x squared, plus 12x plus 4. This 4 doesn't have a variable behind it, so we can't combine it. I simplified that problem. In order to completely simplify an expression, you need to rewrite it without any parentheses and make sure all of the like terms are combined. So those problems didn't have parentheses, but some of them will. So you'll have to use the properties that you learned. 3a plus 2 times b plus 5a. Now, that looks very complicated, but we're just combining. By the way, none of these variables, I haven't given you the value. I haven't said like x equals 2 or anything. So that means we're just going to keep the variables as they are. So I'm going to get rid of these parentheses by using the distributive property. Remember, you can always use the distributive property if there's a number right next to the parentheses and then there's an addition or subtraction problem within the parentheses. So 2 times the first one, which is b, would just end up being 2b. 2 times 5a, well, what's 2 times 5? 10. And then you're going to keep the variable. So again, 2 times b is 2b. 2 times 5a is 10a. And then I'm going to still add in the 3a to all of that. So now I got rid of the parentheses by using the distributive property. And now I'm going to combine the like terms. I notice that there's a 3a and a 10a. So that can make 13a plus 2b. Now it's completely simplified now. I can't do anything else, so I am done with that problem. Okay, I'm going to do another one. I like to give you guys a lot of examples. So, 4a to the power of 5 minus 2a to the power of 5 plus 4b plus b. I wrote a little reminder here. When a variable is all by itself, like this b, just imagine a little invisible 1. That counts as 1. So this b can be combined with this 4b because there's a little 1 that we don't need to write. So since there's not parentheses, I'm just going to start combining. So 4a to the power of 5 and 2a to the power of 5. Make sure you pay attention to the signs. Because this is subtraction, I'm going to subtract 4 and 2 and get 2a to the power of 5. But I can't combine those with anything else in here because these are talking about a different variable. So those can be combined and these could be combined. So 2a to the power of 5 plus, well, we have a 4b and a 1b. That makes 5b. So 2a to the power of 5 plus 5b, that is officially simplified. I'm going to post these notes for you guys to look at. I will also post another video of someone else explaining this in case you need extra help. Your homework is page 283, odds. You guys can skip 25 though. Let me know, email me if you would like to go on Google Meets at 11, and I am more than happy to help you. Good job this week. You guys are doing great.